YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Carl coming back at you from Golden Gremlin Productions. This time around, we are going to be discussing NBA legends explain why the 1986 Boston Celtics team could be the best team ever. If you are new, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. It helps me out tremendously. This is one of those subjects where there are a lot of teams that you can put in this conversation, but we're going to break this down. You know what I'm saying? We're going to watch this video. My apologies for all the sporadic uploads. Had a lot going on lately, so let's get straight into this video.
Now the first clip that I want to take a look at is Larry Bird talking about comparisons between the 86 Boston Celtics and the 2008 Boston Celtics with Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, and so on. Let's hear what Larry has to say.
I know their defense was excellent. I think they won the championship because of their defense. I know Paul Pierce is a very, very good player. And Ray Allen's always been one of my favorites because he shoots the ball extremely well and he knows how to play. Then they got Kevin Garnett. Then they got a lot of role players that filled their role. I don't know how we would have competed against him, but obviously with the teams that we had, 84 and 86, I thought in 84 we got lucky and came back and beat you guys. But in 86 was a team that I thought was our best team in Boston. And I would challenge, take that team and challenge it.
Larry, an over-the-head pass now to McHale for two.
It's one of the best passing teams in NBA history. There's a great thing on YouTube somebody put out there. It's about a 5-minute thing just showing all the phenomenal passing exchanges that went on during that year. Bird is obviously involved in a lot of them, but everybody is.
Well, we came to play. We came to win.
It's been that way for a long time. Parrish with a great pass from McHale. You know, ever since Larry Bird's come to Boston, they've all become good passers.
Well, it probably starts when, when your best player, when a guy like Bird will give the ball up to whoever's open and make such good decisions with the ball. It just kind of carries over.
Larry off to Walt.
I will say this, like, when you think about, I know in this generation, when we think about off-ball movement and the best, like, passing from as a team, we think of the Warriors. That is this generation's best team that passes, like, movement. But if you want to go off of a team, I would definitely say that, like, the 86, like, watching highlights of the 86 team, they definitely passed the ball. They definitely moved without the ball. They were active, and that's why it was impossible to beat them that year. Like, they just, bro, they probably wore teams out as far as, like, endurance, just running up and down the floor, running. And it's not even the best player who always has the ball, so.
Good, and a foul is called. All right. The sideline, and Larry in the middle, off to Parrish. Keeping it alive for the Celtics. Walt look away to Bird. Behind the back, Wedman.
We just had a lot of guys that played unselfishly, that had good vision. They just knew, we had a group of guys just knew how to play and hit the open guy.
Nice feed.
Everybody played off each other. Everybody could pass. Everybody moved. We had great spacing. We just had an entire group of guys that understood spacing and movement. And, if we're coming down, and if I see you cut, I just wait, I back up. I may cut on top of you after you cut through. So much stuff that just instinctive that you've played your whole life that is not built into a play. Like most of the plays we had sets that kind of give us some organization. But most of the beautiful stuff you saw was just, I saw my guy turn his head. So you make a cut. All of a sudden, Larry's guy had to pick me up. Larry makes another cut off it, wide open shot. And it was just a lot of impromptu stuff of a bunch of guys that really knew how to play.
I mean, do you think Red and the Celtics, all the stories we hear about Boston Garden and the ghosts and the gremlins, how true is this? Y'all mentioned a little bit before.
Well, no air conditioning. So that was a negative on that.
But then it would be no air conditioning for both sides, right?
Yeah, but they were used to it.
They
were playing in that building all the time.
We played a game there, and they had to give me, like, IVs.
Really?
So I wouldn't dehydrate. And it just too many distractions.
The next segment that we're going to take a look at is from NBA Open Court. Kevin McHale talking about the 86 Boston Celtics.
I think the best for me was just the moment that the horn sounded in 86 when the season was over, for just how we had played from Christmas on. The team got together.
everybody said, okay, look, man, we're dedicated. We lost a Christmas game, a double overtime game to New York, played really poorly, had every chance to win that game. And afterward, everybody got together and said, man, we got to play better than this. I mean, we've been to the finals now 3 straight years. That would have been our 3rd straight year of going to the finals, been the finals 2 straight years. This is our best team we've had together. And we all got together and, I remember Bill Walton, of course, Bill says, we're not going to drink until we win the championship. So I looked at Bill and I said, we're planning on winning it this year. So Bill said, well, of course, And so everybody quit drinking and we all got together. And from that point on, I think we were like 60-10. Including the playoffs, but it's how we won. It's the ball movement. It's you go back and look at that. There were 7 passes. The ball didn't touch the ground. Everybody on the team touched it, and you had guys just dropping things, and we would run out teams, and it was just so much fun playing. That moment was like the pinnacle of your career. I remember telling my wife I was driving home, and I went like, I just don't know how I can get better than this. I don't know how. We won the championship. We played unbelievable. The team was so in sync. And we got to drink again.
That's what it looks like when a team's a juggernaut, bro. Like, I think when you look at all of the best teams when they were at that pinnacle, like when you say the year Shaq and Kobe basically like only lost 1 game in the playoffs, when Jordan went 72-10, the 86 Celtics, the 2015-2016, like even though they Warriors team, even though they didn't win a championship, they were juggernauts. Like normally when you see teams that are this good and they play that good, they're going to steamroll through. Like because at that point they're clicking such a high level that nothing you do can stop them. You might get a game, but that's about it.
There were nights they played better than we did.
I think the key to that year was just the way that Coach Casey Jones was able to balance the team and keep everybody focused on the team concept of everybody makes a contribution.
We had the whole thing fixed.
Well, we came to play and we came to win.
It was a really good passing team and very unselfish team.
There just wasn't any doubt in my mind that we were going to win. It was a unique group of a bunch of guys that could really play, and those guys I know they wanted to play more. I know Scotty was a hell of a player, Wedman. Bill was. All these guys wanted to play more, but they had good players in front of them. But boy, when they got their chance, they helped us win so many games.
Yeah, to be able to go out there and feel like you could. Not just give them a breather for a couple of minutes, but to extend the lead and to hold the lead. There was just a beautiful thing.
It was an adjustment. It was an adjustment as a rookie because again, as a rookie, your thoughts at that time is, how do I fit in? How do I get into the rotation? How do I get some minutes? How do I make a contribution? How do I have some sort of impact?
One of the qualities of a really good team is that you have guys that are ready to play, and boy, when they got their opportunity, they really shined. Like I said, there was many nights that those guys played great.
Me and Scotty competed every day in practice against one another, and there's a lot of days where he played a lot better than me. But it's always good to have a guy that can come in and score points in bunches.
There were nights that they came in and Scotty Wedman got on fire, Bill was working it, Seaston was hitting shots.
Jerry was great. The 2 years we had Jerry, especially in '86, Jerry shot like 56% from the field.
And that's one thing I noticed, like, about all of the great teams. And I'm glad this brings out more about the bench players that were willing to come in, even though they wanted to play more. When they can, that's what makes a good team, a great team, and a great team a legendary team amongst the Hall of Famers. And when you get past all of the Hall of Famers, the DJ Johnson, all of them, all of those players, it was the bench players too that came in and contributed. Probably on nights when the Celtics didn't always, like the main Celtics players didn't have it, or what I'm saying, it's just one of them games where they need that extra little boost. You come in, give a few points, what I'm saying, the tenacity of giving those points. Just they had a well-oiled machine. the players that came in who didn't get to play as much made the most out of their opportunities.
He's a dead-eye shooter. He's the one kid that we could get up and put pressure full court on other point guards. Isaiah hated to play against him, so it was great for me to see it. And he was scrappy. Jerry was a good little player, yes.
You know, all those guys, they came in, they were nights that they actually played at a higher level than we did. And, you know, and that really got us ready to go again. And, you know, you'd sit on the bench and, you know, they'd go out there and it made you a better player and it made you a way better team.
It is a huge advantage, and you know we didn't go deep into the bench, you know, like our Celtics teams of today, but because Larry and Kevin and Robert and DJ and myself, we all played, you know, 36 plus minutes.
For the most part, our battles were, you know, in the practices.
Bro, 36 minutes in that era is insane, boy. Probably the physical abuse. I see why a lot of them only played like between 10 and 13 years, bro. 36 minutes in that league? Oh, yeah.
Chance for us to keep those guys sharp, to challenge those guys every day, was what Coach Jones had us believing in was our contribution to this championship team. So we felt like even though we weren't the guys during the games that were getting the minutes, we were the guys that were keeping the guys sharp, that were getting the minutes during the games.
You know, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, the 1996 Chicago Bulls is the best team of all time, in my opinion. But there is no denying that the 86 Boston Celtics were just an incredible team. And the biggest reason to me why I got them in my top 3 greatest team of all time list is their basketball IQ. The passing was great, the ball movement was great, but they were just so smart. And it doesn't matter if
I see why people can say that Bulls team would be better. It's like because for every argument that you would have about why the Celtics 86 team was the greatest team of all time, and every accolade that was achieved, the Bulls did that too. So like they steamrolled through the regular season. The Bulls at that time had the greatest record, the regular season record of all time. So you got to edge that to the Bulls. Mike was the MVP that year, as well as Finals MVP, and he won a championship. Larry won a championship, was the Finals MVP. So it's like they're like, you know what I'm saying? It's all about who your favorite team is. For those who make the argument about the 86 team, you're not wrong. For the 96 team, you're not wrong either. It's just subjective. It's basically what you like. It's what you want. It's a lot of people are gonna say the Bulls were the best team. A lot of people are gonna say the Celtics were the best team. Both of them have their claims as to who could have the best team of all time. So I know I've been a little bit long-winded, but this is one of those topics that I like to speak about a lot. So we're gonna keep jumping into these videos. I'm probably gonna do one next on the Bulls on the 96 team. So it's been your boy Carl from Go to Grimmett Productions. Until the next one, peace.